Okay, what we're doing is working on our clicker game, so you should be able to access it when you go to My Projects. Click on your name, My Projects, and if you've started it, it should be inside your list of projects. If you have not started it, you're going to open up a new App Lab, and it's going to be blank. If you're starting from blank, you're going to have to catch up with us, but this is what we have so far, and what we've done so far has all been in design mode. If you click on design mode, it'll show what we have here, which are 3 separate screens. We've got our start screen that has a label for the title, it has a background image, and it has a start button. Notice how they're all aptly named with the ID, meaningful IDs. In our game screen, we have a label for the number of cards. You can do your theme on any idea you want. Donuts is what we started off with. You can also do cookies, you could do football, you could do basketball, you could do cars, computers, any theme that you want that's appropriate for school.
Can I do French fries?
Yes, you can do French fries if you want, but you need to be able to have upgrades. So on the game screen, before we get to upgrades, on the game screen you have to have a label for what it is that you're collecting, cookies, cards, donuts, whatever. And then you also have to have another label that mentions the number or the amount of whatever it is you're gathering. So I have 2 different separate labels, one to say what it is that I'm gathering, and one to represent the number that I'm gathering. Also on my upgrade screen, I have a button, or excuse me, on my game screen, I have a button that says upgrade. I'm going to need to add to this because this is the main game screen where you click. This is the clicker game. So you click here on the middle of the screen and the user needs something to click on. So I'm going to go online and I'm going to get an image for them to click on. You can choose whatever you want for whatever theme you want. Cookies, donuts, French fries, hamburgers, anything you want. There's my first image. I copied and pasted the image address, copy image address, paste it into the box. And that's what they're going to be clicking on to increase their number of cards. But I'm also going to have upgrades. So I need to add the upgrades as well. So let's go to the upgrade screen. And so far, I have 1 upgrade. They can upgrade to the 3 of spades. But I need to add 2 more upgrades. So I'm going to basically duplicate all of these things and change the images to be better upgrades. So here's a buy button. I'm just going to name this aptly. This is going to be called the buy button 1. This should be labeled as question mark 1. And this one should be labeled as the 200 label. We should have the type of card label. And we should have a cost label. And this is going to be underneath this question mark. We have, oh, I named that one the wrong one. This should be the 3 of spades label. This one is the question mark label. Question mark 1. So there's 1 upgrade, but I also need, in my game screen, I also need the 3 of spades to click on. They're going to start clicking on the 2 of clubs, but when they upgrade, I'm going to get the 3 of spades, which actually I can use the same image address for this image I already have. Here it is. So I'm just going to, because I already have that image, I'm just going to copy the same image address and I'm going to add it to my game screen as another image. Here's my 3 of spades. We're going to make it bigger, and they'll be able to click on that when they upgrade. But we don't want them to see it yet because that's an upgrade. So I'm going to click the hidden option at the bottom of the properties so that they don't see it right away. They just see the two of clubs. This should be called three of spades image. Actually, I'm going to call it the clicker image because we also have another image inside the upgrade. This one should be called the two of clubs clicker image. We have our number of cards label, our three of spades clicker image, and then in our upgrade screen, we also have this three of spades upgrade image. So here I go. Here's my buy button 1. I'm going to duplicate it, drag it down a little bit, and I'm going to name it buy button 2. Buy button 2. I'm also going to have another one of these images, but it's not going to be the three of spades. It's going to be my next upgrade, which I get to choose whatever that is. I'm going to choose the Jack of Diamonds for my next upgrade. Jack of Diamonds upgrade image. And then I need to get that image from the internet. So Jack of Diamonds image PNG. Let's see if we can find one quickly. Copy image address. We paste it here. There it is. Good to go. I'm going to throw this behind the buy button, and I'm going to click on the hidden option so that they don't see it until they buy it. I'm also going to go back to my game screen, and I'm going to add this image as well. This is going to be the Jack of Diamonds clicker image. And I still have that URL on my clipboard pasted. So I can just paste that right in there. I can resize this, hopefully. There we go. And this is, again, an upgrade, so we want to keep it hidden until we're ready for it. The two of the clubs is the only thing that they should see to start off with. Everything else should be hidden until they upgrade to it. All right. So let's continue our upgrades here. We also need to have a label for our Jack of Diamonds. So Jack of Diamonds label. I'm going to have a duplicate of the question mark if I can get it. Duplicate question mark 1, it's going to be question mark 2. Put that on top of my three of spades. And then we're going to have a second cost for the cost of the Jack of Diamonds, which is going to be 1,000. So I'll just call this my 1,000 label. And I forgot to change the text on my Jack of Diamonds label. This is the Jack of Diamonds. Let's align that to be in the center so it looks better, and we can put our three of spades back there. I'm also going to hide my three of spades because we don't want to show them the upgrade until they buy it. And I'm also going to hide my upgrade images because, again, we don't want them to see it until they buy it. So they have to click on the buy button before they get to see it. We've got one more upgrade to do. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this image and do my final upgrade. This one is going to be the Ace of Hearts. Ace of Hearts upgrade image. And I also need to get the image for that, Ace of Hearts. Give me a GIF. Not a gift, a GIF. That'll do, that'll do. Again, in the game screen, we need to have the clicker image, so I'm going to add my last image here. I'm going to paste that same URL for this time the Ace of Hearts. Need to change the ID to Ace of Hearts clicker image. Should be hidden. And it needs to be placed accurately so that it shows up in the game. All right, game screen is complete. Upgrade screen is almost there. We just need to add our third buy button. So duplicate that, change it to buy button 3. Gosh. Put it over the Ace of Hearts. I need to get a label for my Ace of Hearts. Don't forget to change the IDs, of course. Ace of Hearts label. Got my third question mark. Duplicate. Question mark 3. And finally, I have my final cost, which is going to be 5,000. It's going to be a 5,000 label. It's going to say 5, 1, 2, 3 on it. Let's put a comma in there to make it look nice, right? Let's do that with 1,000 too. All right, so that's set up for the most part. We just need to add a couple more things and we'll be done with all 3 of our screens. The first thing I'm going to add is another button. I'm just going to duplicate my buy button. And I'm going to call this the back button so we can go back. Of course, it should say back on it. Let's make it a little bit bigger so that it stands out. We'll add a little bit of border to it and make it bigger. There's our back button for the update screen. And we need 2 more labels. We need one label that says cards collected, the number of cards collected, just like it says here, cards. But in our upgrade screen, I'm going to have this label say cards collected, colon, and I'm going to call it the cards collected label. Then I'm going to have one more label that is going to be the amount of the cards, just like I have in my game screen that says number of cards. The number of cards label, I'm going to have the same thing in my update screen. That's going to be the number of cards again. So we'll call it number of cards label 2. And I'll just put a hashtag for this one and make sure that I have plenty of space for that number to get bigger. Because when you collect more cards, you need more space to express the number. Let's make sure I have enough space on my game screen for this too. This should have plenty of space to grow in size. I don't need that much height. There we go. Okay, I think that's everything for our screens. Recording again. We are going to now do our code, and I'm going to start by organizing our code into sections. So I'm going to drag out a comment, and I'm just going to start labeling sections. The first section is going to be my variable, which is just one variable, and then I'll give some more space. After the variable, we will have our game screen code. A few more lines down, we'll have our upgrade screen code. And a few more lines down after that, we will have our buttons code. I'm going to start off with the variable. There's only one variable, and you only declare it one time. Every time after that, you just assign it. So we start with the variable, which is going to be whatever it is we're dealing with. So if you're dealing with donuts, call it donuts. If you're dealing with cards, call it cards. If you're dealing with King Kali, then call them whatever those things are. You should start off with 0. 0 cards, it's been declared. Now we have something to start counting for our game. The next thing I'm going to do now that I have the variable though is I'm going to go to the buttons code. We want to get our start button, we want to get our upgrade button, and we want to get our back button all working. And they all are going to do pretty much the same thing. They're just going to set the screen and update the screen. So let's do that. Let's go to our controls here, UI controls, and we're going to drag out an on event for our buttons code. And on the event that this start button is clicked, on the event, start button, click, we want to set the screen, which is all the way at the bottom of the UI controls, we want to set the screen to the game screen. We want to play the game. We also want to update all of the amounts. We want to update the amounts on our game screen, this amount, and we want to update the amounts on our upgrade screen. So because we're going to do that all the time, I'm going to create a function that does it for us. So I'm going to create this function in the upgrade screen code, and it's going to be called update scores. And inside the scores, it's just going to set these labels, this number of cards 1 and number of cards 2. It's going to update those to be the variable cards. So in the UI controls, I'm going to set the text of both the update, or not, number of cards. The number of cards label 1, and the number of cards label 2. They're both going to be set to the variable that you have, whatever your variable is. Mine's called cards, yours could be called cookies, or whatever it is you're collecting with clicks. So now I have a function that will update all of my scores. For me, it's cards. And I'm going to do that when the start button is clicked. I'm going to call that function. So after I set the screen to the game screen, I'm going to update the scores. So now when I click my start button, it should go to the game screen and it should show that I have 0 cards. So let's see if it works. Good, 0 cards. We could make that font a little bit bigger. Let's do that real quick. Up, game screen, this font. $33. See how that looks. That's better. Okay, back to the code here. Now that I have the start button working, I can copy that same code and do almost the exact same thing for the other 2 buttons. So I'm going to copy this whole on event, copy, paste. I'm going to change this one to be the upgrade button. When the upgrade button is clicked, we're going to set it to the upgrades screen. And then we'll update the scores as well. So now that's my upgrade button that's working. I copied and pasted that. And now when they click the back button, we're going to go back to the game screen and update the scores as well. So now when I run this, all of my buttons should work. Let's make sure they do. Start button brings me to the game screen, upgrade brings me to the upgrades, and back button brings me back to the game. They're working. We're good. Now we're going to move on to the game screen code. In the game screen, we should have, on the game screen, we should have an image for them to click on. We are starting off with the 2 of clubs, so when they click on this, they should get points or cards, whatever it is you're gathering. So I need to create an event for that. And this is on the game screen code. So I'm going to drag out an on event. On the event that this image, which this image is called, let's double check, the 2 of clubs image, clicker image, 2 of clubs clicker image versus the upgrade image. When they click on that 2 of clubs, we need to add to their cards. So I go to variables, and this time I'm not going to declare it, I'm going to assign it, or in a sense, reassign it. So now my cards is going to be equal to itself plus 1. So when they click on the 2 of clubs, it says the cards now equal the cards plus 1. In addition, after it updates the score, I also need to update all the scores, the labels. So I'm going to run that function, update scores. Okay, so now when they click on the 2 of clubs, it should add 1 to their number of cards. Let's make sure it works when I run the program. Start button works. I click on the 2 of clubs, and hooray, I can get cards. So I have to keep clicking to get enough cards to upgrade. How many do I need? I need 200 for the first upgrade. So I would have to keep on clicking until I get to 200. Next, we need to, when they get to 200, we need to give them the opportunity to buy the upgrade. So I'm going to go down to the upgrade screen code, and I'm going to add another on event for when they click the buy button. So on the event that they click the buy button 1, the first buy button, we need to basically give them the upgrade, but they don't get the upgrade unless they have the right amount. So that means we need an if statement. If their number of cards or donuts or whatever your variable is greater than or equal to 200, the cost, then we can sell them the upgrade. Now, when we sell them the upgrade, we need to take their money. We need to take their score. So we have to subtract that from the variable. So now my variable is going to equal itself minus the cost of the upgrade. So if they have 200, then we'll take their 200. But if we take their 200, if we take their money, we've got to give them that upgrade. How do we give them the upgrade? Well, first thing we do is we show them the clicker image. So I'm going to go into my UI controls, and I'm going to show them, show element, the next clicker image for that upgrade. Now my first upgrade, mine, is the 3 of spades. So I'm going to do 3 of spades clicker image. That's going to show, but at the same time, I'm going to hide the 2 of clubs. I don't want to see the 2 of clubs anymore. I want to see the 3 of spades. Furthermore, on our upgrade screen, when they click that buy button, I want to get rid of the buy button 1. I want to get rid of the question mark 1. And I want to show them the update image and the 3 of spades label. So I'm going to hide question mark 1. I'm going to also hide buy button 1. Those 2 are now hidden. And then I'm going to show them the 3 of spades update image and the 3 of spades label. So show 3 of spades label and show 3 of spades upgrade image. Let's test it out. At this point, I should be able to upgrade the first one when I have 200. So let's run it. I click the start button. I start clicking on here. I'm going to use my touchscreen abilities here. Drum roll. I don't actually have to do this, but I'm doing it for fun. Just need to get to 200. Go, 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 go. There we go. We made it. So now we can go to upgrade. Hopefully the buy button works. Buy. Yay. It shows the upgrade is to the 3 of spades. And now I can go back. And it shows the 3 of spades. But when I click on the 3 of spades, nothing happens because I don't have the code for that yet. But yes, we are at a point now where we have everything pretty much set up. The rest is just copying and pasting our existing code blocks and changing them to fit the next upgrade. So that's what we'll do to basically finish the game. I already have an on event for when you click on the 2 of clubs. We're going to copy and paste this for when you click on the 3 of spades. But when they click on the 3 of spades, that's an upgrade. So they're not just going to get 1 card, they're going to get 5. 5. Okay, and then I'm going to copy and paste that. And when they upgrade to the Jack of Diamonds clicker image, the cards is going to go up by 25. And finally, when they get to the Ace of Hearts clicker image, we are going to give them 100 cards per click. So that's all of my game screen code. They get +1 for the 2 of clubs, +5 for the 3 of spades, +25 for the Jack of Diamonds, and +100 for the Ace of Hearts. But I need to finish all of my buy buttons now, though. So I've got one for buy button 1. I need one for buy button 2. Buy button 2. When they click on buy button 2, that one costs 1,000. So they need 1,000, and we take their 1,000 from them. But then we need to show them the Jack of Diamonds clicker image, and we need to hide the 3 of spades clicker image. I'm also, just to be sure, in case they did it out of order, I'm also going to hide the 2 of clubs, just in case it's showing, and I'm also going to hide, like I said, if they do it out of order, the Ace of Hearts. They could possibly have gotten that as well. So basically I'm hiding all the other clicker images and showing the Jack of Diamonds one. I'm also, from the design or upgrade screen, I'm also going to hide buy button 2 because I just clicked buy button 2. I'm going to hide question mark 2 because I just clicked buy button 2. And I'm going to show the upgrades, the Jack of Diamonds label and the Jack of Diamonds upgrade image. So now, buy button 2 is all taken care of. When they click that buy button, it'll show those upgrades and it'll update their clicker image on the game screen. So one more buy button on event and we'll be done. We've got our third buy button now, buy button 3. When they click on buy button 3, where'd you go? Buy button 3. Then we're going to take all their 5,000 this time. 5, 1, 2, 3 zeros. And we're going to show them the ace of hearts clicker image. We're going to hide all the other clicker images, the 3 of spades, the 2 of clubs, and the jack of diamonds clicker image. And we're going to hide the buy button 3. We're going to hide the question mark 3. And we're going to show them the upgrades for the ace of hearts. Ace of hearts upgrade image and the ace of hearts label. And that should be the entire game. So, let's give it a go. Actually, let me do it on this screen. Start. Okay, we got to get up to 200 to get to the first upgrade. Almost there. Get there, get there. Come on, man. Oh, my arms are gonna, oh, there we go. Okay, upgrade. We buy the upgrade. We go back now. Oh yeah, now I'm not getting cards faster. Now I have to get to 1,000. Halfway there. 3/4. 9/10, and we made it 1,000. So now we can upgrade to the jack of diamonds. We go back, and now it's going up by 25. So we're in the big time now. Oh, yeah. But we have to get to 5,000. So that's going to be way high. Halfway there. Ooh. Get there, 55,000. There we go. Upgrade. Now we're going to buy the ace of hearts. All right. Now we can go up by hundreds. Look how fast that is. We can get to 5,000 so quick. But guess what? We're done. There's nothing else to upgrade. You could add more upgrades, but that's it.